Okay, in this lesson of Blender, we're having a look at 3D objects and how we can control them and how the physics engine in Blender works. So I have a little world here I've created. I've got a light source, I have a cube, I have a sphere, and I have a surface. And I've added these by going to Add, Mesh, and then we have Cube, UV Sphere, and Plane. Bring it up again, Mesh, Plane. This is my plane surface here. Now currently they're static objects, they just sit there, so if I turn the game engine on by pressing P, you can see they just sit there. So what we want to do is to make these affected by physics. So to do that we go all the way up here on the properties window, click the last little button here, and this lets us set the physics. You see currently this object is set as static, as is the sphere, as is the plane. So I'm going to go to my sphere, and I'd suggest in lesson what you do is you go through these and investigate all of these and see what they do. But there's two we're going to look at in this video. So the first of these is dynamic. So I'm going to turn on dynamic, turn on the game engine by pressing P, and then watch my sphere fall. So that's working great. So I'm going to set that back to static, and I'm going to now see what happens if I do exactly the same with my cube. So I'm going to set this to dynamic, on, and let it fall. You'll notice that when it falls, I'll run that again just very quickly, it doesn't fall over. It always stays the same way around. So we're going to investigate now a different option. So as well as dynamic, we've got rigid body. If I turn on rigid body and let it fall, it now has proper physics and tumbles over. And we do the same with sphere. Now, the only problem with sphere is it's not quite as obvious. So again, if I set this to rigid body, let it fall, what it will do is rotate. Now, at this point, what I would suggest is that you add some more meshes. So add another plane, move this plane down, press S to resize it, make it nice and big. And then I'm going to use my 3D view just to rotate this round to put it where I want it. There we are. Make it a bit bigger again. Then I can test out my objects again. So I can make these fall. And we can see what happens with them. Now the next challenge for you, once you've got this working, is to see if you can create a domino effect, where each one of these objects will fall off another. Now to make that work properly, you're going to have a look at this collision bounds option down here and a bit of investigation about what that does and what effect it has on different objects.